Tomas Navarro has been an absolute wreck. We have watched this usually sharp, composed junior lawyer completely unravel as Kat fights for her life. He has been leaning heavily on the Dupree family, joining Vernon, Anita, Nicole, and Ted in their desperate prayers for Kat's safe return. The sheer vulnerability radiating from Tomas is enough to break any fan's heart. He has been sitting in that waiting room, his head in his hands, terrified that he might lose the woman he loves before he ever truly got the chance to show her how much she means to him. Have you noticed how much Tomas has changed since this crisis began? He is no longer just Bill Hamilton's ambitious protege. He is a man who has suddenly realized that life is horrifyingly fragile. Will his desperate prayers be enough to pull Kat back from the brink? In a moment of overwhelming emotion, Tomas pulls Chelsea Hamilton aside. Chelsea has been the ultimate rock for her family lately, acting as a sounding board for everyone from Kat to Naomi, and now it is Tomas's turn to confess his deepest regrets. He pours his heart out to Chelsea, his voice cracking as he admits how foolish he has been. For months, Tomas has been so blindingly focused on climbing the corporate ladder at the law firm, so obsessed with his career, that he neglected the most important person in his world. He tells Chelsea about all the broken promises, the canceled dates, and the dreams he put on hold. But this near-death experience has fundamentally rewired his priorities. He reveals to Chelsea that he wants to plan the ultimate, jaw-dropping surprise for Kat the moment she opens her beautiful eyes. He talks about whisking her away on those luxurious, far-flung vacations she has always dreamed of. But wait, it gets so much better. Is Tomas about to take the ultimate plunge? Yes, he is. In a twist that leaves Chelsea completely speechless, Tomas reaches into his pocket and pulls out a velvet box. When he snaps it open, I can practically see the diamond blinding the hospital's fluorescent lights. Tomas Navarro is planning to propose. He wants to ask Kat to be his wife, to promise her a lifetime of devotion, travel, and unconditional love. Chelsea is absolutely floored, her jaw practically hitting the linoleum floor. After everything Kat has been through, feeling like a spare part for Eva, facing the wrath of Martin calling her Princess Kat, and enduring the terrifying out-of-body experience in her coma, this is exactly the kind of fairy tale ending she deserves. Chelsea, being the incredibly supportive friend she is, immediately agrees to help Tomas pull off the surprise of the century. But how on earth are they going to execute a flawless proposal in the middle of a hospital crisis? This is where the drama takes a hilariously soapy turn, and I cannot stop laughing at the sheer brilliance of it. Tomas is a nervous wreck. He is a lawyer. He needs to rehearse to have his opening statement perfected. So he begs Chelsea to help him practice. Picture this. In a quiet, dimly lit alcove of Garland Memorial, Chelsea Hamilton is doing her absolute best impression of the ultimate diva, Katherine Richardson. She is flipping her hair, striking a dramatic pose, and demanding to be the center of attention, while Tomas gets down on one knee, holding her hands and pouring out the most romantic, soul-bearing vows you have ever heard. It is sweet, it is funny, and it is a complete recipe for disaster. What happens if someone walks by at that exact moment? Imagine the absolute chaos if Naomi Hawthorne, Danny Dupree, or even a highly stressed Andre Richardson rounds the corner and sees Tomas Navarro on one knee, holding Chelsea's hands, looking deeply into her eyes. The gasp heard around Fairmont Crest, in a town where secrets spread faster than a wildfire. A misunderstood proposal rehearsal could easily spiral into a scandalous rumor of a shocking new affair. Will someone misinterpret this innocent practice session and run straight to the gossip mill? Could this hilarious misunderstanding reach Kat's ears before Tomas even gets the chance to slip the ring on her finger? Despite the potential for a massive misunderstanding, I truly believe that when the moment finally arrives, Kat is going to be over the moon. Let us analyze Kat's psychology for a moment. This is a young woman who craves the spotlight, who loves to be desired, and who recently felt completely invisible and unappreciated by her own family. She literally ran away in tears because she felt everyone only cared about Eva's survival. Waking up from a terrifying coma to find a gorgeous man on one knee, offering her a stunning diamond and a promise to make her the center of his universe. It is the ultimate validation. Tomas has finally figured out exactly how to love Kat the way she needs to be loved. He is stepping up matching her diva energy with grand, sweeping romance. But the ultimate question remains. Will Kat's medical complications subside long enough for her to say, I do? Or will another tragedy strike just as she reaches for her happily ever after? While the hospital is buzzing with impending proposals and medical emergencies, another deeply emotional storyline is unfolding across town, proving that love and healing take many different forms. Let us shift our focus to Ashley Morgan, who has been drowning in an ocean of grief since the tragic, heroic death of her ex-boyfriend, Derek Baldwin. Ashley has been a shell of her former self, clutching Derek's Medal of Honor and crying herself to sleep. The guilt and the pain have been suffocating her. But enter Jan Morgan, the ultimate matriarch who knows exactly when to offer a shoulder to cry on and exactly when to deliver some much-needed tough love. Jan cannot stand to see her beautiful daughter wasting away in sorrow, anchored to a ghost. Will Jan's intervention be the catalyst Ashley desperately needs to step back into the light? Jan sits Ashley down for a deeply moving, tear-jerking conversation. She validates Ashley's pain, acknowledging that Derek was a true hero who died saving Jacob Hawthorne. But Jan also gently reminds Ashley that Derek would never, ever want her to stop living her life. He would want her to find joy, to smile again, and to open her heart. And then Jan drops the name that has been a massive source of conflict, Grayson Perez. We all know Grayson is currently in the absolute doghouse. He lied. He was involved in the terrifying plasma ring courier work. And worst of all, his actions directly led Derek to that deadly warehouse. Ashley has been furious, gut-wrenched, and completely unforgiving. But Jan, with her infinite maternal wisdom, sees the bigger picture. She knows Grayson was backed into a corner by Dr. Leah Whitmore to pay for his ailing mother's care. Jan advises Ashley to look past the anger, to see the remorse in Grayson's eyes, and to give him one more chance to prove his love. Can Ashley truly forgive the man who inadvertently caused her greatest tragedy? I think we are about to witness a beautiful, complicated journey of forgiveness. Grayson has been begging for a second chance, looking like a lost, heartbroken puppy. If Ashley takes her mother's advice to heart, we could see the rebirth of a romance built on the ashes of tragedy. It will not be easy. Every time she looks at Grayson, she might see Derek's ghost, but the chemistry between Ashley and Grayson is undeniable. Will they be able to navigate this dark, heavy history, or will the secrets of the plasma ring continue to haunt their attempts at a fresh start? I am predicting some intensely emotional, tear-filled confessions between these two in the very near future. Meanwhile, back at Garland Memorial, the emotional roller coaster continues in Eva Thomas's recovery room. Against all odds, Eva's liver transplant was a massive success, and she has woken up completely healthy. But the physical healing is nothing compared to the emotional weight she is carrying, especially knowing Kat is fighting for her life because of her. However, Eva is not facing this heavy burden alone. Isaiah Hawthorne rushes to her bedside, and the raw, unfiltered emotion between these two young lovers is absolutely spine-tingling. Isaiah has been a pillar of strength, praying in the waiting room and confronting Kat in the stairwell, but seeing Eva awake finally breaks his tough exterior. He pours his heart out, his voice trembling as he confesses just how utterly terrified he was. Will this near-death experience forge an unbreakable bond between them? Isaiah tells Eva about the agonizing hours of uncertainty, the sheer panic that gripped his soul when Kat initially refused to take the donor test. He expresses his deepest fears, admitting that he could not imagine a world without her bright, strong spirit. It is a breathtakingly romantic and vulnerable moment, showcasing how much Isaiah has grown. He is no longer just a boy navigating family drama. He is a young man fiercely protecting the love of his life. And what makes this scene even more fascinating is the presence of Leslie Thomas. We all know Leslie is usually the ultimate helicopter mom, constantly inserting herself into the drama, screaming at nurses, and demanding the spotlight. But in a shocking twist of character development, Leslie actually does the right thing. Leslie watches Isaiah bare his soul to her daughter, and instead of interrupting or making it about her own suffering, she silently steps back. She recognizes that these two young kids need a private, sacred space to process their trauma and celebrate their survival. Leslie quietly slips out of the room, leaving the young couple to their tender reunion. She wanders down the sterile hospital corridor, finally finding a quiet, secluded corner to just breathe and relax. After losing her house to the tornado, facing the terrifying prospect of losing her daughter, and receiving that unexpected olive branch from Anita Dupree, Leslie is completely exhausted. But as she sits in that quiet corner, her mind must be racing. Is Leslie truly turning over a new leaf, or is she simply recharging her batteries to launch a brand new calculated scheme against the Dupree family? As we look at all these intertwining storylines, the tension in Fairmont Crest is thicker than ever. From Tomas's secret proposal and the hilarious potential for a Chelsea-centered misunderstanding, to Ashley's painful journey toward forgiving Grayson, and Isaiah's tearful reunion with Eva, the emotional stakes are off the charts. Will Kat wake up to the surprise of a lifetime, or will the universe deal her another cruel blow? Will Ashley and Grayson find their way back to each other, or is the ghost of Derek Baldwin too heavy a burden to bear? And what exactly is Leslie Thomas plotting in that quiet hospital corner? One thing is for absolute certain: the drama is only just beginning, and you will not want to miss a single second of the explosive fallout. Keep your eyes glued to the screen, because Fairmont Crest is about to erupt